You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Hola, mi gente. Wepa, it's your boy Al Mega, and welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. And today, man, this homie has not graced the Comic Crusaders family in 9 years. It was 9 years ago, before we were even doing pods, where the incredible Frank Mula, interviewed this homie. Now, this homie here, he's an author, he's a screenwriter. I mean, he has touched top-tier franchises such as Star Wars and StarCraft, and now he is up to it again, touching an iconic, classic IP that's live on Kickstarter right now. So we're going to dive into this amazing franchise, the reasons why, with the brains, the showrunner, the big boss himself, Mr. Mike. Hey, what's going on, bro? My man.
Hey, wow, that is an introduction. I'm going to use that. I want to tape that and use that everywhere, man. Thank you, Al. I appreciate it. Wow, that was great. Loved it. I could do that again. I got a dream of that. That's great.
I'm going to start selling these intros as voicemail messages for people. Let's go. You know what I mean? Thank you for calling the one and incredible. So anyway, but thank you for coming on, bro. Wow, 9 years since. And it was a written interview when you were doing Empire of the Wolf. I mean, a dope franchise. But now, wow, you've been up this stuff. We need to dig in because we got just a bit of time, because we also got to talk about this dope project, which, wow, many days left to go and it's already funded. Woo! I'll show you in a minute. Oh, my God. So we're going to talk about it right now. All right. So before all that, though, for those unfamiliar with yourself, all right, let them know where you are originally from and the most important question you'll ever hear in your life. What is the first thing in fandom that you ever fell in love with?
Oh, that's a good question. So, Al, you're from New Jersey, right?
Oh, my God. No. That's actually my backyard. I'm from New York.
You're from New York. Okay, I'm so sorry. Right, I'm from New York, too. But I'm from upstate. I'm from Endicott, Binghamton. Have you been there?
No, I have not.
No, yeah.
New York is the 5 boroughs to me. That's it. No.
Yes, I know. That's what. Yeah, I grew up in the country, right? So so upstate New York, and I fell in love with fandom. I think it was Star Wars, perhaps, because it was 1981. I was 4 or 5 years old, and my dad, he came home. He had watched the space shuttle Columbia launch, the first launch, and he had come home excited. He had come from Florida back to New York, and he's like, "I'm going to take you out to the movies." And this was my first movie, and he took me to see Star Wars. And I remember sitting there, so many years ago. It was in re-release, of course. This was during they used to re-release these movies every couple of years, and I sat there and I remember the images of the cantina even today, being struck by those creatures. And I fell in love with Star Wars. I, of course, got the toys. Empire came out the next year and re-released in 82. And then I saw Return of the Jedi as it came out normally. And so I didn't have to wait those 3 years in between the films. I got like a year between, and it was nice. A perfect way to experience Star Wars, and from that day on, I was always into that, always into reading and writing and storytelling in general. And it's funny. My son today, he's 3 years old. He left out all his stuffies before he went to preschool. He was putting on a puppet show. And I told my wife, I'm like, I did the same kind of thing when I was a kid, and he was doing it for himself. He was putting on a performance for himself. So I see a lot of him in me, and it's really funny when you see those kind of reflections of your past and in your future. So
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a kid myself, so I absolutely get it. Yeah, especially when they start digging into fandom, so you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. You like what I like?
Yeah.
That's fun. I gotta hide what I buy now.
Yeah. How old?
No, mine is double deuce. She's 22,
Oh, good.
graduated of Full
Okay.
Sail University. She's a boss out there doing her thing.
Good for her. Good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
five. I got five and three. You know, I was a late starter. So
It's all right, brother. Soon you'll reach me like this, and it's all right. It's all right. So, growing up in your geekdom, you said Papa took you, but did you have a tribe growing up that were also down with your fandom, or you're the lone wolf guy?
we had a tribe. It's just everybody on the block like Star Wars. You know, when
Okay.
those new action figures came out, when you got Admiral Akbar, you could mail it in, and it came. And do you remember this? Did you mail it in for Admiral
No,
Akbar?
no, I never did the only mail order I ever did was related to baseball cards.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I
a
didn't do
baseball
the
guy
toy
too.
mail orders. As much as I wanted to, but my parents, growing up in Brooklyn, limited. Okay, pick where you want. And I was a big baseball fan, like I said, and I was like, okay, the cards are going to be worth more money, and I'm not wrong because today's card market is absolutely insane. But whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody wanted the Topps Don Mattingly. I don't know if you're a Yankees fan or a Mets fan, but
Of course, I'm a Yankee fan, but everybody wanted that '84 Mattingly, bro.
yeah, you remember that. Yeah. So yeah, we had everybody in the block, and then I remember the kids across the street. We didn't have a VCR until like 1984, but Return of the Jedi was on.
84. I got mine like 85. You beat me by a
85.
year.
Okay, yeah. But I remember when Return of the Jedi came out, and I begged the my friends across the street to tape it for me because they had HBO. So,
Oh
you
my!
know,
So back in the
was,
day with the antenna that you had to put at the
yeah,
window and face the
yeah,
Empire State Building.
totally. Yeah, we had the antenna. They had cable, so they had channel 11 and channel. Is it channel 11, channel 7 in New York, or channel 5? I'm trying to remember.
Back in New York, no. Well, we had to point the antenna at the Empire State Building, so we had to go to channel 3.
Okay, channel 3. Yeah, and then and you had to mess with that thing sometimes,
Oh
right?
yeah, my father
Yeah.
would get mad, and what I remember most though from those days, it was Tootsie was on a constant damn rerun. Anytime I wanted to watch something, it was Tootsie. Like, what the hell, Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah. What a great movie, by the way, Tootsie. I mean, you could watch that movie there's a reason why it's being replayed. That's such a great film. But yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh man, look at man, we're the same age. I'm digging this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. But not many people that I know from New York that suffer through those same things as I do.
Yes, totally. Yeah. So then I remember when the Star Wars role playing game came out. That was a big. It kind of everything in Star Wars was kind of dead and quiet. But they had this role playing game. We was still alive for me. I was still, buying the books. I was still looking for the action figures at garage sales, and then it never left. And I was lucky enough to work at Lucasfilm during
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy, yo. I mean, as a kid, your father took you to see this one movie, and who knew that would manifest into something much larger? Because you are a boss. I mean, you've done tons of books within the Star Wars universe and mythos. Like, kudos, bro, for you to land, like a dream job, I would think.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it was one of those things. It was almost as if looking back at it, and if I asked myself at that time, hey, you're going to be writing the young adult novelizations to the sequel films, the kid would have probably said, yeah, probably you are, because that's how much I loved it. That's how much I was willing to put forward to try to get, and it took a lot of work.
I'm starting to think that you really did go into the past and tell yourself this.
Yes,
Are you
I probably did.
I
I probably did. Yeah. So, so being able to novelize the sequel films and working with the team at Lucasfilm was a dream come true for that. And in fact, I'm the only person. I think I'm the only writer that can say this. I had to kill off all 3 of the main characters. I don't think there's anybody else that can say that.
You murderer.
I had to kill off. I can't. I'm not going to ruin the sequels. I had to kill off Han. I had to kill off Luke, and then I had to kill off Leia.
Oh, son.
And yeah, it's a lot of. I'm killing off my heroes as a kid. So there we go. Right.
Yeah, we're not going to share his email address or anything like that. No hate mail for
No.
you murderer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. But how do you feel that like you have taken part in the death of one of some of the most iconic characters in Star Wars mythos? I mean, shit. Like, yeah, how does that make you feel? Though? I mean, that's what again. This little kid got taken to the movie theater, and now you are killing off those very people you were watching.
Yeah, well, it's one of those feelings where I was every time I was writing this, I was realizing, oh my gosh, here is another hero. But in a way, I think it's kind of a nice bookend to childhood, that you have to, in order to grow, you have to kill off your childhood heroes, right? In a way. Yeah,
don't make me do that, because I don't know if you see, all those people are villains, so it'll be easy to kill them because they're the bad guys, but I don't want to kill them.
No, of course not. Right.
I don't want them to die.
Yeah. No. You're probably a Vader fan, right?
Of course, I like the villains, man. Come on, who doesn't like Vader? He's one of the most badass looking villains ever.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then again, and with that power set, come on now. Do you want to mess with this guy? I do not. I mean, I love Rogue One, for example. In that sequence, in that damn movie. Woof, baby. Woo!
Yeah. He was good. Another little Star Wars tidbit I got was I got to write the a Bosk short story. Now, I loved this action figure when I was a kid, the lizard man, what they call a Trandoshan, bounty hunter, and he's in that yellow suit, and so I got to write the short story for one of the anthologies coming up, and that was just a ton of fun and he's a villain, and he's out to basically hunt down Chewbacca, so that was a lot of fun to kind of get into his character.
Have you ever seen an image of a bald Chewbacca looks like? I
have not. No.
Okay.
Have you? Is there one?
I unfortunately saw one. Yes, and it's something you want to immediately erase from your brain if only you could.
Yeah, you can't. Once you see that thing, I'm sure I don't want to see
it. It's gonna ruin you, bro. You'll probably come up with like a 6th story of them having hair fall out and eating Rogaine or some shit, or hymns. Who knows? But it's crazy, bro. He needed to be bathed in hymns. Let me tell you. All right, so. You are a boss on IPs. The last time we spoke again, it was Empire of the Wolf. You're touching Star Wars, StarCraft, a whole bunch of dope shit. Game of Thrones, even, my God. And now you are touching yet another classic IP. The Edgar Rice Burroughs, John Carter of Mars. Woof! I mean, something I enjoy, especially. I remember the old school classic Marvel run. And of course the movies and whatnot. So talk to me, what was it about this, being the showrunner as well? How did you get involved in the project? Was it you that said this needs to be made? Like, what happened? What was the day that everything sparked?
So I read the book a few years before the movie was coming out, and the book trilogy. I got this book at Barnes & Noble called The Martian trilogy, and it's by Edgar Rice Burroughs. It has a Princess of Mars, the Gods of Mars, and the Warlord of Mars in it. And I read it, and I was just astounded I hadn't read it before, because I just remember being like, this was written in 1912, and yet it is so cool. It is so cool, right? This guy's going to Mars, and he's meeting all these different creatures and races. And it's kind of about America at the time, and it's some kind of analogy, and but there's like high adventure there, airships. I mean, this is 1912. This writer's putting this together.
Yeah, man. Why was he smoking, snorting, or whatever?
I don't know.
He was
out there, and it's good. It's good.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. It's a little. I mean, it definitely shows its
age.
It shows its age, and you have to approach it understanding that this is of its time, we normally we wouldn't write a story in this way today. But if you can appreciate it for where it is in the historical timeline, and then also the story is still just as full as wonder and fun as it probably was back then. I was like, wow, this is great. And then all the references to it is one of the seminal texts of science fiction and fantasy.
Yes.
You know, because if you look at that book and then you look at the rest of it, it all develops out of Edgar Rice Burroughs, and a few other authors, but he's really one of the main foundations for the genre. So, and then for someone who loves Star Wars, to see the word Sith pop up, it's in his book. Lucas was clearly inspired by John Carter of Mars. It's a wasp in John Carter of Mars, but the word is cool enough that Lucas probably thought, hey, maybe make this into the enemy of the Jedi. And then there's Jedak, who I'm not sure, but very similar to Jedi.
Listen, I mean, Lucas was a fan of all that stuff at the time.
Bantha, right? I mean, you saw it was like, wow, he was a fan of this, and so you could see like the seeds of Star Wars in this book, and I liked that too. And then I developed a relationship with the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate after a while, and
How did you develop that? How did you even meet the estate?
I reached out to them and about some projects that I don't think came to fruition. I did a short anthology when the movie came out that was just for fun, and an annotated edition. And then I had this idea. I love audio, and I love movies and television, but I also love audio, and audio really done well. And I love the Star Wars National Public Radio dramatizations. And I went over to England for a year after college, and I worked at the BBC.
Oh my God! I want to
radio.
You're the first person. Wait a minute. I'm going to interrupt there. You are the first person in my podcasting career of 466 episodes with this one that said I graduated college and went to the UK. Everyone, and I mean 98%, have said graduated college and I went to California. What possessed you to go to the UK of all places?
Well, I loved radio, and I got to work at the BBC radio drama department, and it was a great experience as a young kid. I was taking these actors, this American kid in England, right? Taking these actors of the British, famous actors of the British stage, and shuttling. I was the coffee boy or whatever, the tea boy, and then bringing them up to the studio. Yeah. And then I was a production assistant. I would help record sounds. I would work with the actors and get their mics set up and talk to them. It was a pretty neat experience. So I went. I knew I wanted to work in screenwriting, and so I went to California. And for a long time, I was a public school teacher while I was, working on my craft. And
thank you for your service there.
Yeah, of course. I love it. I miss it quite a bit. It's such a great job. And but it takes a long time to be a writer, to do it well, and to develop all the contacts you need and build your resume. So I was a teacher, and I did that. And then again, around the time of the movie John Carter, when Disney's film came out, I started to be in touch with the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate. And then a couple of years later, I would say quite a bit, 2019, I had this idea of what if we did a John Carter audio drama, and we do it and we do it like the books, right? And I approached them, and they were excited by the idea. And so we went out to a few directors. We started to talk to publishing companies, and we eventually we got Bill Dufries, he was the voice of Bob the Builder, but he was the director of a lot of Audible productions of audio dramas called The X-Files. He did those with David and Gillian Anderson.
Oh, nice.
He did Lock and Key, which was an audio drama for Audible. And so, yeah, we teamed up. And his partner is Lance Roger Axt, who it might have been on your show.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, you might have had Lance on your show. Yeah. So, Bill. So we were really excited. Then COVID hit, stalled everything, and Bill passed.
After COVID like really messed up so many flows. I mean, I can't imagine like what was possibly in process that shit just killed.
It killed just about everything. You know, I mean, it has its effects are still being felt. And it of course, you know, decimated our population in America too. So I mean, it was those times are, you know, everybody knows they were hard creatively, hard personally.
I'm glad they're behind us, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
We're dealing with other hard times, but you know.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy. So that stalled our project for a while, and then Bill, unfortunately, he passed away during COVID. Yeah, he had cancer. So I was ready. You know, I was like, well, I don't know if this is, you know, if we're gonna move forward with this because of COVID, but Lance, you know, pushed the cart and got it rolling, and then we are here right now. So
you know how far we're here. Let's bring it up, baby. Let's bring it up. I'm excited. Woo!
There
Folks, check it out. Before we proceed, first of all, we have 42 days to go. That means, folks, that's multiple paychecks there. So there's no excuse for you not to support this. All right. A big shout out and a salute, left hand salute. Yes. All right, for us people over here, we gotta go left. All right. 245 backers. Thank you for supporting creators like my man Mike right here. And this is amazing. Out of a $10,000 goal, baby, we at 26,191. This is amazing, bro. And again, you know, this is Friday. We have a video, so let me go ahead and play this video, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about this whole project.
Fantastic. Thank you, Al.
For 10 years, my body lay undiscovered in an Arizona cave. Then I awoke and opened my eyes upon a strange and weird landscape. I knew at once I was on Mars. My name is John Carter. John Carter of Mars.
You've read the books. You've played the games. You've seen the movie. Now experience the groundbreaking science fiction epic from the creator of Tarzan in a way you've never heard before. Pocket Universe Productions and Edgar Rice Burroughs Incorporated present John Carter of Mars, the audio series. An immersive experience in sound and imagination with a full cast of top-tier actors and starring Sean Patrick Flannery of the Boondock Saints and Young Indiana Jones as John Carter. A movie for the mind's eye, available as a digital download or double CD set, including an RPG supplement, compatible with the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game and OSR Old School Revival rules, along with a detailed map of Mars from John Carter's adventures, and collector's editions of the classic novel of Princess of Mars, both in English and in Martian Barsoomian. And finally, the first of its kind, a stuffed plush of John Carter's loyal Martian companion, Woola. Make a pledge today. Bring John Carter of Mars, the audio series, to life.
Woo! Folks, did you see how dope and that classic Frazetta image, no doubt, but yo, my God. So awesome. You got the plushie. I mean, the way you guys are selling this dope. The game, the movies, the history. Sean Patrick Flannery, man. What? I mean, if you guys have not watched Boondock Saints, where the hell have you been hiding? I mean, come on out. Talk to me. How did you build this cast up, the story up? Dude, this is great. I'm pumped, man, to hear this.
Well, thank you, Al. Yeah, so we did a lot of market research into like what fans would want, because funding an audio drama it's like funding a film. Okay, And we, at first we didn't want to do the Kickstarter route, of course, but we discovered that this is probably the best way for us to actually get it out there to the world, to tell people about it. And because nowadays just about everybody in the creative industry, if you're doing an independent project, is doing a Kickstarter, it seems.
Yeah.
So it's the new artist alley in a way, I think, or the new small publishing booth.
I will go with the latter on that. It is the new small publishing booth because so many publishers, use this as a platform, basically printing a whole line of books under them. And I mean, this is just the beginning of what of your universe here, because this is already. Listen, man, I already could tell you're a fan, so I'm like excited over the project. Pocket Universe as well. I know they've done several dope projects, so like you guys hooked up with, I think, what I believe may be the right partner here, because again, I've been entertained by Pocket Universe for a minute.
Yeah, they've done EC Comics, and they also did the X-Files under a different name, but it's the same team. So we discussed all the different iterations of products, merchandise we could give, because what would fans of the property want, and then what would general fans want, and then how do we broaden our audience beyond just the guys who go to the Pulp Fest, right? Or the ERB fans, because we want to reach them. They're our core audience, but we wanted also to just broaden it a bit. And we looked at gamers, because there's a big kind of cross section of this kind of story with the new revival in Dungeons and Dragons. The plush is kind of our outreach to try to get a bigger audience of people who might be, oh, the Woola, I remember Woola, right? Oh, this is cool, and I get to give one to my kids. I don't know. So we did what we could to make this as wide a release as possible, and then getting Sean Patrick Flannery involved was just it was dream casting, because he for me in Young Indiana Jones was one of the moments where I realized I wanted to be a writer and work on shows like that. And then to reach out to Sean and for him to be like, oh, this is fantastic. I love it. I want to be a part of it. Let's figure this out. It's a dream come true.
I can't imagine. So, folks, let's give it the rundown. I love the introduction. A warrior may change his metal, but not his heart. Woof. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. And they was showing there a movie for the mind's eye. And there's rewards. And folks, look, you can get started for little as $1, just because you're kind-hearted, you have $1 to give, all right? I mean, as you know, homeless people nowadays ask for even more than $1, so this is actually a bargain right here, all right? To support an independent creator. Now, you can get in here and get a high-res digital file of the full cast audio drama starting at $25. And that's it. And you got 42 days, so don't play with me. You guys got more than enough time. Month and a half, if you will. That's about 3 paychecks. If it's bi-weekly, definitely 6 paychecks, if not. No excuse. Let's show it. You got a digital PDF, only other RPG supplements. So you're telling me you got an RPG game along with the audio for this?
Yeah, it's a PDF. There's also a print version. So yeah, and so basically for most of the rewards, you get what is underneath. In the lower tiers.
Gotcha. It's like $49. You get the RPG campaign, old school revival, the PDF, the rules, all that good stuff. He said double CD. My God, are you dating yourself, sir?
You think we are, but you know what? It is one of the most demand items we found. Because people want a CD with the Frazetta art on it.
Oh my God, with the Frazetta art, you mother. Listen, I get it, man. Physical media, like companies are trying to get away from that, but no, us fans and collectors, we love our physical media. So yeah, thank you for continuing to do something that cool. You know what I mean?
And the art was given to us courtesy of the Frazetta girls.
Stop lying.
Yeah, I don't know if you talked to them. They're wonderful. They were really kind to allow us to use that. So,
oh, that's dope. I mean, I remember buying the card. I still got my set. I got that and the Boris set. The Boris.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
I got, and I also still got my. If you remember the serial killer mafia set, I got the complete set.
Oh no, I have to see that. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's cool, man. Give you the bios and what they did on the back. It's insane.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they banned it, of course, but I bought it right on time. Then we got limited edition books with maps and RPG rewards for $100. That's the deal. That sounds like a lot. Look, folks, if you have a geek in your life or a geekette or whatever your spouse or your loved one is, you know, family, let's go. This is the perfect project. I mean, look how much stuff you get them. I mean, it's audio dramas, it's games, it's things to read. Like, come on, what? Come on, this is fire, baby. Heck yeah, you're making me happy always. I want to pitch in. And CD rewards. I mean, I'm old. Holy, yes, I still have a CD player.
You know, my son, they use a CD at his preschool, and he keeps saying, "Daddy, can I have a CD player? Can I have a CD player?"
You're like, oh my god, you're giving me flashbacks. Kids,
yeah, totally, yeah.
I remember having those damn CD players, the first iteration, remember, and you couldn't have them in the car because they would skip.
They would just skip all the time, wouldn't they? They would skip. They'd be on your table and they'd skip.
Yeah. Thank God when they started making the anti-skip, you know, it was really cool. I got happy then, you know, but then it didn't last much longer because then the MP3 player started coming out and that's it. Goodbye. Dating ourselves, folks. Yes. Now you got a double CD, RPG, and supplement and map. And listen, look at the deals. Now, when you want to get started with that plush, starting on $150, huh? Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So making a plush. This is a good for all those Kickstarter people out there. I'm a writer. You know, I've never thought I'd be designing a plush, a stuffed animal. But yeah, it costs quite a bit of money. So it's that's why the price is where it is. But we wanted to also make it a special item too, because it is, you know, shipping out a plush is expensive and all that. But I think it's never been done before. They've never done, ERB's never licensed, and this is officially licensed by the estate of Edgar Rice Burroughs.
This is the first time period ever that we're gonna get.
Yes.
Holy shit! Look at you popping the cherry on that and went.
So we have fans. We announced this at San Diego Comic-Con and then also at Pulp Fest, and the fans were so welcoming, so warm, and they cheered when the Willa plush came up.
How big is this?
They've been waiting. You know, a lot of people have been waiting decades for this. So
I'm sure, and you should have made also a John Carter action figure looking legit. You know, on that Metro style. That would have been so epic.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Heck yeah, bro. I'm dying to get me like a legit Conan figure. I'm just waiting for a company to make the right articulation for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Conan, but I also love, again, I grew up from that era, so you know, John Carter and all that good stuff. I mean. Man,
I actually have a Conan comic coming out in October.
Shit, I'm gonna have the pleasure of reading
Savage Sword number 5. Savage Sword number 5.
You really? Oh
yeah.
Shit! I'm collecting everything Titan from Conan. So okay, bro, we're gonna talk about at the end what convention you're gonna be at. So hopefully by the time it comes out, you're gonna sign that shit for me.
Of course, you can send it to me. Al. Yeah.
We gotta make it happen, bro. We gotta make it happen.
Titan's doing a good job with Conan.
Ooh, a signed Deja Torres. Oh my, I love Deja. Oh my god. For real, you got Prince signed. This is crazy. For $150, $149. Platinum Fannery signed Prince for $249. Oh my god, sponsoring producer, a Martian Prince, and receive a name credit in the A Princess of Mars. Oh shit, you hear this, folks?
Yeah, and we have had some kind people actually do that. So
I see that. Listen, folks, this is a great gift again for the geek in your life or geekette. I mean, imagine them getting that, listening to this and hearing their name. How dope would that be? I mean, this is a very special gift. I love when people do this. Oh no, a whole video call with the cast and crew. Woo! And involving with the producer tier too. Look at this. Oh my god, you have your cake and eat it too on this one.
Yep.
Eat your cake and eat it too, baby. Have a Martian character named after you. So there could be the Mega Martian, the new Eminem. You know, much better.
Yeah. I like that. Where does Mega come from, by the way?
I was playing Rock Band one day when that came out back in the day in Brooklyn, and I was battling some people from Georgia and rocking out. They asked me for my name. I didn't want to give them my real name, and I'm a big fan of Megatron. Again, I love my villains. And then one of my wife's friends used to call me Al all the time instead of Alex. So I said Almega. That rolls off the tongue. I'm Almega, I said. They love that name. It just stuck ever since.
I gotcha. It's a great name.
Thank you. But definitely inspired after Megatron. Not that I'm villainous. Megatron is actually a warrior for good. His ideas are just misconstrued.
Okay.
Even Thanos, was he really wrong? I mean, we could eliminate a lot of hunger.
It's a very convincing argument. People watch that on the it's good writing, because you make your villain somewhat in this weird realm of reason, right? It's good writing.
Yeah, when you feel for them, when you could almost be like, you know what, you kind of have the point. And then you start questioning yourself. Am I that fucked up?
Yeah, that's good writing. Yeah. The darkness of the villain, but sometimes they do bring out ideas that, oh wow, okay, maybe that is one way. But yeah,
I'm digging it. But again, talking about ways, look at all the different right in front of your face. Let me put this a little bit bigger. All the different tiers that you could participate in. The link is below. So all you got to do. I mean, visit the Kickstarter right there. Boom. Right? Yeah. Pocket Universe, John Carter Mars, the audio series, 5e RPG, and a World Plush. Oh my God. I mean, they're giving you everything but the kitchen sink with this. Come on, baby. You got to support amazing projects like this. This is love. I mean, and look at it, with that artistry on it, but the legendary Frank is that over. Woo! I mean, I know you're seeing this on the side of a van. When you see this on the side of a van, run away because you might be never know what happens in that van. and then the OG Marvel series. I love how you guys took this and kind of like the Pocket Universe style. Love it. This looks so great, man. How dope is this? Did you ever read the OG comics when you were a kid?
I read a couple of them at the barber shop. I remember they had, and I think we got some in. I don't know if you remember this, Al, but they used to have these packets at the drugstore where you would get a couple old issues all together in a cellophane bag.
Yes.
And I think I had a couple of John Carters from that. They would just throw in random issues for kids, and you pick it up for like $3.99 or $2.99, and you got 5 comics, right?
Yeah, man, I remember those days. I mean, I paid a lot less than that, but yeah, I definitely remember those days. Now, this intrigued me. In the video, obviously it's in English, and then you get to say that it's also in this Martian language. Holy shit. Who made up the language? How did you even translate this thing?
So it's developed by our art director. His name is Marshall Dillon. He was a comics letterer for a long time. He loves fonts, and one day I will show his emails about just figuring out a written system for Mars, and it was pretty great information there. But we took some of the rare and never before seen symbols and what Edgar Rice Burroughs he drew on the side of his side of a piece of paper, and the archives kept it, lettering that he had drawn for Mars, and we incorporated that into our design for the actual writing on Mars. So in fact, on Mars there's many different, every city has its own alphabet and own written language. We simplified it here. We just do Helium, which is the main city in Mars, but you can read John Carter Mars and Helium Barsuman, Helium Martian if you want. So that's one of the books. It's been fully translated.
I am digging this so much. Now, I think that the next trip that the space flights take, make sure that they take a copy of this book in Martian language and just leave it there to see what happens.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, a lot of fans they're really digging that book. So they like the idea of it.
Maps, bro. This is insane. Look at this.
So that map is an old map that they used. Ballantine Books published in the 70s. They sold for $5 back in the 70s, which was pretty expensive. And it is the map of Mars. So we're reprinting that. This hasn't been seen since the 70s.
Oh man, I would definitely put this up on my wall. This would make a great poster, man, up on the wall. Pretty sick. I love this a lot. Very cool. And there goes the plus. Homie looking all dope. Autograph prints, add-ons, RPG bundles. Now, audio drama classes. Hey, what is this?
Yeah.
What?
We've reached that goal. We have reached that goal.
Not end. You are, Mike, you're killing this, bro.
Thank you. So the audio drama class is going to be from our producers and director. They're going to put on a master class on how to make an audio drama. So you can join them and ask them all the questions you want.
Whoa, you hear this, folks? This is fire.
And that's for any backer. I mean, if you pledge $1, you could get a link to that. So
what? You hear this, folks? Come on now. You back a project and you could probably learn how to build the next business out of this. Come on. This is what it is. I mean, shipping, all the spiel there, things you gotta know, and meeting the team. And a big shout out to everyone involved. Because this is exciting. This is definitely something from my era, and I know that some folks got to see the film, as you've mentioned. Let's see if there's been any changes. I got 26 racks right now. Holy smokes, bro! Look at you, 26,191, baby. Let's go.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone who's supporting it, and everybody who's listening on the podcast now or later. Appreciate all your support, and it takes a lot of effort to build these. These are passion projects. They're not. There are other ways to make more money, I think, so, as you know. But this is a really we think it's a worthy project, and we've all the love we've received as we've really appreciated.
Well, it shows that a lot of people also agree with you that you've gone over 16,000 over goals. So congrats again. I mean, I'd love to see these classic IPs really be given a chance to shine again, especially with this new generation. Like you said, these are stories that may not be able to be written nowadays, but give it a respect for what it was for its time. Don't get offended and just place yourself in its time. That's what it was. That's all.
Yeah. That's the way to approach this. We all have different views of today, but if you, so I taught social studies and history, and if you remember where we've come from, you can look at, oh wow, we have made progress.
That's exactly my point. Like, you do not change anything from the past, even if it offends you. Because then you compare it to something from now and be like, wow, we have grown. If you change it from the past to make it sound like it's something from the present, then how do we see that we've grown? We don't. Right. We're stuck in this endless cycle then. No, allow the growth to show itself, I think, and it's great. It's okay. Listen, I love H.P. Lovecraft. I'm Latino. I'm brown. I shouldn't like him based on the shit that he says. But again, I place myself and understand the era that it was in, where he was making these stories, and I'm not gonna catch offense. That's what it was. You know what I mean? They don't write like that no more. I'm okay with it. It's different. You know what I mean?
It's different. It's a different. Yeah, it's. It is. We need. It's good to discuss this stuff too, Al, because it's important to know about it and critically think about this stuff. Because if we don't, then we're just aping the past. But if we can look into these just about everything is problematic, but if we look into these things and we can find the nuggets of, like, I mean, John Carter of Mars is a great story, so, and it's a story that can be retold today for a new audience, we think.
Yeah. The only thing is that they'll get mad if you try to dress up Deja.
Okay. Well, some people on the marketing team, I think they like Deja where she is. So
everybody. I posted a picture today, and one gentleman, from the Comic Crusaders Facebook page, was like, "Oh man, I'm up to issue 3, but is she really that much of a badass?" One word answer: yes. Yes, yes, that's it. She like great.
Yeah, yeah, she is
That's
fantastic.
that's what's great about this world. It's not just John. It's just there's so many characters within this universe that you can look up to and build upon. So I mean, after this, I mean, it's fun. It's gonna happen. I know, and you're gonna get more. You probably gonna make $1 million. Let's go. 42 days.
$1 million would be fantastic. Yeah, we do. You know, all these Kickstarters, they do have the initial goal, and we do have like a dream budget. You know what I mean? So the dream budget will help us get the talent and the other resources we need to make this really shine. You know, so that's why we're hoping for, you know, a good raise.
Fantastic. Well, it's happening. It's going to happen. I'm manifesting it right now. This is a Comic Crusaders approved project, baby.
Fantastic.
I'm digging it. And Big Mike, man, are you going to be at any shows for the rest of this year? Maybe people can meet you in person and get to talk about this in person with you.
So I was at San Diego Comic-Con just 2 weeks ago, and we were at Pulp Fest. One of our producer partner, Joe Ferrante, was at Pulp Fest. We're thinking about some other conventions, maybe New York Comic-Con.
Be there. You tell me if you're there, okay, man. I'll scream wherever. You hear me. You hear my loud mouth.
Cool. Okay. I want to listen for the guitar. Is that what you play? The bass guitar? Or what do you play?
You know what? People have been asking me that same thing, and that's very same instrument. They say I look like a bass player. So I've kind of been getting like very curious. I actually contacted a teacher, and I got to get my own guitar. And like, you know what? I'll play. Why not? Fuck yeah, let's go. I'll try it. Why not? We have only one life, so you know, learn as much as you can, and you know.
That's the whole point of life, right? Learn as much as you can, and then you have a whole hour of you just playing bass guitar on the show, right? And we just all listen.
It'll be. I'll call it instead of the Black Album, it'll be called the Wepa album. Yeah, I dig it, man. So, all right, you better do these cons, man. I would definitely love to see you in person.
We'll do.
Go. You know, any advice you would give to people stepping in the game? Because I see you, man. Again, it looked like you've achieved some of your dreams from a childhood, like doing your favorite franchise, and again, touching these wonderful classic IPs. Like, you know, why would you tell people trying to maybe be in that same lane?
Yeah, so I would say this to everyone. I would say also work on your own work. Your own work is the most important work, because that's beyond writing for Star Wars or you know, John Carter of Mars, or even Conan, as we were talking about. It's your own IP, your own work that really matters, and that's eventually what's going to make you the best writer or artist you can be, and that's where you're going to find the most pride. You know, Empire of the Wolf was a passion project for me. So, and that was an original IP, and that's, you know, I'm still proud of that. So I think that's the advice that I always give. And if you do a good job on your own stuff, you will get to write some of these other tangential universes that you like to.
Is there anything left, Mike, that's a dream project for you, an IP that you just would love to get your hands on that you have not had the chance yet?
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a really good. I think. You know, I watch some shows now, and I'm inspired by these new shows, but I don't expect myself to ever be part of that. I'm looking at it as more as a fan and something that inspires me in my own work. So, yeah, right. That's kind of where I am.
Great. Well, listen, man, I'm a fan. Definitely want to see what you're doing in the future, what else you bring into the game. Again, this baby's happening. But again, folks, please look. The links are all below in the show notes. It's also on screen right there. Look how easy we make it for you at the Crusaders family. Support amazing creators, my man Mike here. Again, look at this. An audio series. Again, if you have not seen Boondock Saints with the man that's in this, you're doing yourself a disservice. So immediately after this podcast, the first thing you got to do is throw some money at this, all right? Make it rain, baby. And then go ahead and watch that Boondock Saints. You can see how passion. Yeah, it's a dope flick. And then after that, I start looking up everything that Mike been doing, you know, with the Rebellion Begins, starting at that, Empire of the Wolf, I mean, Ezra's Duel with Danger, all this crazy stuff, Incredibles, I mean, the Game of Thrones. I mean, Mike been everywhere, baby, right? And just keep supporting amazing creators like himself. And with that, I'm Omega. That's Mike K. My Crusaders, I love you very much. I appreciate the time you take to watch and and share and just just be there with us. I appreciate it. So with that, hasta la próxima, mi gente. Huepa! If I find the right clip. What is wrong with this, bro? Why do people do this? I'm gonna kill my fan for moving my videos around. How do they do this? Mike, they move my videos around.
Do they? Yeah. What do they do? Is it do it during the show?
Apparently, someone moved something, and now I can't even find my own outro. How funny is this? I'm a little upset. So my Crusaders, y'all better watch out. If I find out who did this, if I find out who did this, I'm gonna have to use an outro I don't normally use. Hasta la próxima. Bye.